Barcelona are once again making strategic moves behind the scenes. From closely monitoring 16-year-old Brazilian wonderkid Rafael Belinho in Croatia, to preparing a crucial decision on Marc Bernal's future, Barca's long-term project is taking shape. In this video we break down Barcelona's interest in Bolinho, the role of super agent Andy Barra, the potential pathway to the Spotify Camp Nou, and why Bernal's loan situation could be one of the most important choices of the season. We'll also cover Hansi Flick's latest press conference, his plans for João Cancelo, Ronald Araújo, and what to expect ahead of the Copa del Rey clash versus Racing Santander. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any Barca updates. Barcelona keeping a close eye on 16-year-old Brazilian talent playing in Croatia. FC Barcelona continue to closely monitor the transfer market, especially when it comes to young prospects, as shown by signings such as Rooney Bargi, as well as Mika Faye and Lovro Chelsea in the recent past, both of whom are represented by Andy Barra. The agent does not only represent those players, but also first-team stars João Garcia and Dani Olmo, which underlines his growing influence at the Catalan club. Barcelona keeping an eye on Rafael Belinho. In that context, Sport reports that Barcelona are keeping a close watch on the movements surrounding Rafael Belinho, a player of interest to the club and also represented by Andy Barra. Bolinho, a 16-year-old Brazilian midfielder, has recently signed for NK Kastasija, a club competing in the Croatian 3rd division, after leaving Dinamo Zagreb. It has come time to take a new step. After careful consideration and consulting with my family, I have decided to move forward to continue my development. I believe it is the best decision for me and my family at this moment, Bolinho wrote on social media. All of this appears to form part of a clear strategy. Andy Barra is an investor in NK Kastasija, and both Mika Faye and Lovro Chelsea played at the Croatian lower league club before eventually arriving in Barcelona, a path Bolinho could also take. In fact, since last year, there have already been reports of Barcelona's interest in the attacking midfielder, whose own objective appears to be to play at the Spotify Camp Nou sooner rather than later. Until he reaches legal age, Barcelona would not be able to sign him via a standard transfer. And negotiations would be considerably simpler with a modest lower division club than with a major Croatian side like Dinamo Zagreb. So, Bolinho's switch to Kastasija has certainly caught the attention, with a future move to Barcelona very much on the cards. Barcelona preparing crucial meeting with 18-year-old star after Copa del Rey clash amid loan interest. Barcelona are preparing to address one of their most delicate internal decisions once the Copa del Rey tie against Racing Santander is out of the way. According to a recent report from Sport, the club plans to sit down with Marc Bernal and his representatives to discuss the midfielder's future and define the next step in his development. It is known that Bernal's situation is attracting growing attention across Spain. The young midfielder has several loan proposals on the table, and Barca are not closing the door to the possibility of him continuing his development away from the club in the short term. Barcelona to control every move. As expected, any potential move would be strictly controlled, as the plan involves a straightforward loan deal, with no purchase clause included. Internally, this is not being viewed as a lack of belief in the player, but rather as a carefully designed pathway to protect his long-term growth. Furthermore, Hansi Flick is expected to play a decisive role, and his opinion will carry significant weight. This is because the manager is known to be reluctant to let players leave mid-season, especially young profiles he values highly. Bernal falls into that category as Flick has shown strong confidence in his ability since taking charge. Continuous development. From the sporting management's perspective, the priority is for Bernal to keep playing. There is a strong internal conviction that he has the profile to become a key Barcelona midfielder for the next decade. Allowing his development to stall on the bench is not seen as a viable option, even if it means making a difficult short-term decision. As such, interest in the player is growing. Girona have been particularly active in recent days, applying pressure on both Barca and Bernal's camp in an attempt to secure his services. All parties are expected to discuss the situation in detail towards the end of the week. The objective is to reach an agreement that benefits the player's career and aligns with the club's long-term vision. Barcelona confirmed the signing of João Cancelo on Tuesday, but there are still yet to be any exits in the January transfer window. It is an area that could see some movement in the next week though. The player most heavily linked with an exit has been captain Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Germany have been clear in their messaging that if ter Stegen wants to start for his national team in the World Cup this summer, he must be playing regular football, and a loan move with Girona is being discussed. Sports say that an exit for Marc Bernal will also be put on the table this week. Barcelona to discuss Marc Bernal exit this week. The Catalan Daily explained that although the club was against the idea of Bernal leaving last month, Director of Football Deco is keen to avoid his development stagnating, and feels he needs minutes in order to prevent that. Barcelona will only consider a loan until the end of the season without an option to buy. For his part, Bernal is eager for more game time. Talks will take place this week between Bernal, the club and Hansi Flick to come to a decision. The German coach has trusted Bernal more in recent weeks, but the presence of Frenkie de Jong, Eric Garcia and Pedri make minutes hard to come by. Flick is not in favor of a move as he is keen not to lose extra resources, and will have the final say. Bernal's return from injury. As with Ter Stegen, Girona are firmly in the frame for Bernal if a loan move is given the green light. The 18-year-old returned to action in September after a year out with a cruciate ligament injury, but has only had a handful of minutes since. In 11 appearances, Bernal has accumulated just 215 minutes in the past 4 months, starting just twice. Flick talks Cancelo, Araújo, Eric, Alonso, Arbeloa ahead of Racing vs Barcelona. Hansi Flick faced the media with calm confidence ahead of Barcelona's Copa del Rey round of 16 clash against Racing Santander, making it clear that knockout football leaves no room for comfort or reputation. Despite Barca arriving as favorites, the German coach stressed that focus and intensity will be essential from the opening minute. When asked how he views the challenge posed by Racing, Flick immediately highlighted the opponent's courage and energy. They're a young team that plays very good football, they're very brave. This is the cup and we have to be ready from the start. Squad selection. Squad selection was a recurring theme during the press conference, though Flick chose to reveal very little. On the question of who would start in goal, he kept his cards close to his chest, replying simply, "We'll see tomorrow." The same cautious approach applied to Ronald Araújo's availability, with player welfare clearly a priority. "We'll decide. We have to take care of him. We'll decide tomorrow." One of the most discussed topics was João Cancelo and how Flick plans to manage his minutes. The Barca coach explained that decisions will be made carefully, especially given the options available in defense. "We have to decide when he comes on. We're fine at center-back with Cubarsí, Gerrard or Eric Garcia. Cancelo can play in several positions, which is fantastic in that sense. He has quality in attack, something we also need." Flick later confirmed that Cancelo is expected to feature, adding, "I think he's set to play a few minutes." Relationship with the board. Beyond tactics, Flick also spoke about the internal harmony at the club. Asked about his relationship with President Joan Laporta and Sporting Director Deco, he emphasized unity and trust. "You never know what will happen. This is football and that's how it is at big clubs. We're together here, it's like a family. Not just with the players but also with the directors. We have something special here. I'm happy to be here." The sacking of Xabi Alonso after El Clasico was also addressed, though Flick made it clear he wanted no part in the debate. "It's not my business. I have a very good relationship with Xabi. He's a fantastic coach. I wish him all the best in his next big project. All the best for him." When pushed further on whether dismissing coaches has become too easy, Flick added, "It's part of football. The club has to believe in you and so does the team. Those who make the decisions have to do so. But it's not my business, I don't want to talk about it because a coach's job is very complicated, we have a lot of responsibilities." Summing up. Asked briefly about Álvaro Arbeloa, Flick kept it short and factual. "He played against me once when he was a player and I was a coach." Finally, reflecting on his strong record against Real Madrid, Flick remained grounded and avoided any sense of comfort. Laughs. "Sometimes you have to enjoy situations because things can change quickly. The people of Barcelona are fantastic. It's fantastic to live here. We know our responsibility and we work hard. We won the first title but that's in the past. We have to keep going. Racing will want to beat us and they did very well against Villarreal, who are third." Source says. So, Barcelona's vision is clear. Whether it's carefully tracking young gems like Rafael Belinho, or deciding the best developmental path for Marc Bernal, Barca are thinking long-term while balancing immediate competitiveness. With Hansi Flick playing a decisive role, upcoming meetings could shape the future of the midfield for years to come. Add in potential January exits, Cancelo's integration, and a tricky Copa del Rey test, and the next few days could be crucial for the club. What do you think? Should Marc Bernal go out on loan, or stay and fight for minutes? And could Rafael Belinho be Barcelona's next hidden gem? Drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe for daily Barcelona news and we'll see you in the next video.